There we go. God, I was hung up there for a second. What's happening, Fresh Baked? We are live on a Wednesday, and nothing is happening. It's so quiet. The news. Good afternoon, Regina. Super quiet on the news front. There's nothing happening. I was sitting here. I've had a rare day this afternoon with, which, by the way, hold that thought. Got to remember to check the phone. What's up, Jeffrey? Rare day at the Fresh Baked compound today. So I didn't have enough time to prepare a meaty subject. So having said that, I know that you guys had suggested some talking points over the past couple of weeks, and we're going to leave it open to you guys if there's anything that you would like to hear me discuss. Or that you would open up for debate. I am fielding topics. Hello, everybody. We'll take what we can get. That's what's going to have to be today. Like I said, it's been an interesting day. Normally, I start working on these videos the day before, or these topics, these conversations the day before, but it's just not been. I am beyond busy. Nice thumbnail. I know, right? I was in the middle of something. Do I think we'll be open by Halloween? Yeah, I do, actually. I do. I think that there is hope for something even as soon as September. Not early September, but a month from now. Oh, Mauricio, a petition about pass holders to what? Open up more Walt Disney World? Disney hotels. You know what's funny? It cracks me up. There's a lot of hotels being built around the Disneyland Resort, and that just keeps going. And again, it keeps me just making, how do they keep going? Knowing that they have, or not knowing if they have customers to put in those hotels. Like who's staying in any hotel right now around the Disneyland Resort? Is there any reason? Are they even open? Regina Layton, what will Disney do about opening the new stuff? Wait until the parks are at full capacity or somewhere along the way? Which new stuff do you mean? Do you mean like Avengers Campus? Let's see. Oh, thank you, Porkins. Was watching an old Fresh Baked video. You suggested something we love would be leaving Fantasyland. Well, that was the rumor that was being told to me. That was how that rumor was being presented to me. And the rumor was, get ready to lose something you love. But I don't know what that was, or it probably will never come to be, considering the current environment. But I think the inference at that time was Snow White. But I mean, we got the opposite of that now. We got a Snow White refurb. So I'm not sure, what else that could have been. Or you know what? It might have been Storybook Land, both Casey Jr. and the Canal Boats, because they were, I think, one of the proposed upgrades was to extend, grow, take over the Fantasyland Theater, and then extend that piece of, because they go back to back, Casey Jr. and Fantasyland Theater, to make to expand it, to add Beauty and the Beast, a dark ride, maybe a restaurant. Raisin says, why do you think that having the Mickey pumpkin or the Christmas tree would be bad? because it's a place for people to congregate and get together. They can't do anything about the castle. They can't close the castle, so they're just going to have to, manage that as best they can. But they're trying to. They would try to avoid situations where people congregate and come together and just sort of loiter in a single area. They're going to do that at the castle, but you're going to have cast members there probably, trying to breeze people through. But you can't close the castle or stop people from taking pictures there, I don't think. That is something. Brittany Bonilla says the LA Zoo is opening next week. They open reservations today. We're thinking about that. We're looking at maybe going to the LA Zoo, because why not? Hey, how much does a ticket to the LA Zoo cost? There is no topic today, Victor. There wasn't enough happening where I was able to put something together in the time that I had allotted for this. So it's just open mic day for the next hour. It's open mic. Why do you think Disneyland will be open in a month? Because it's something that I've been hearing for a while now. People keep saying the same thing, that there's, that we're getting somewhere. Orange County is still on the watch list, but Orange County's stats are trending down. So if Orange County keeps doing its job, we might be able to, get this thing going. San Diego was taken off the watch list recently, and it can be done. You just got to get more people doing what's necessary. Okay. Are you safe from the fires? Oh yeah, we're fine. Nothing near us at all. I think the fires are up north. Mauricio says it was about the pass holder extensions beginning on the first day one enters the park. Well, no, it should. Really? They want that? Is that a reasonable request? Okay, so in case you haven't heard, Mauricio is talking about there's a petition, I guess, being signed by annual pass holders, and they want their passes for those who have opted to renew or to extend their passes rather than letting them cancel. They want the pass to start on the first day they enter the park, but I don't know why that would be a reasonable request. I would expect them to say when the park opens, the passes are active again. That just seems natural. The pass doesn't work that way. The pass doesn't start the first day you get it, right? It starts the day no. The pass starts the first day you enter, right? Oh shoot, you guys check me on that. I may be wrong. Jesse Jess says the reasoning is there are some people who would like to attend when they feel safe. Well, when was that going to be? What if you don't feel safe for 3 years from now, and you just want 6 months of Disneyland free after that, or not free, but I mean, that doesn't seem. No, you've got to. You can't just sit there and wait. It's not up to Disneyland to tell you when I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that. Brittany says they are expecting reservations to book up quickly and many to be unable to get reservations, so they want the pass to start when they enter the park as opposed to when the park opens. Well, that's a different argument. And that's something that I could get behind, because that's one of my fears, is not being able to get in if I'm not there, Johnny, on the spot when the windows open up. Me being, holding the Premier Pass and knowing that I'm paying a premium price, I should get a premium ability. But having said that, I think I remember hearing once that Disney was going to, how do I put this? They were going to extend your pass for however long the parks stay in a reservation system. So first there's that 5-month stretch. They're going to extend you for that 5-month stretch that the parks have been closed, or however long it winds up being. And then they were going to extend it for whatever period the park is under a reservation system. And I think that's a good idea. Now, I don't know if that's what the petition is saying, but I do like the idea of Disney saying, okay, we're going to let you in and you're going to pay your monthly fee, but we're not going to let it expire. The clock doesn't start ticking until the reservation period is over and it's wide open to everybody. I think that's the way to go for Disney. And I heard that. I don't remember where I heard that. It was a while ago. It was a while ago that I heard that. And I think that's a very good idea because, as mentioned, I don't think that a person who is paying a premium price for a pass that is supposed to get you unlimited access to the park, and that includes Christmas and everything, shouldn't be told they can't go under any circumstances. So for however long they're telling you you can't go in, I don't want my pass to be, on the clock. And I just took a lot of time talking, so I don't know how far behind I am. Let's see. Amy Tim says you should probably just cancel your pass if you don't feel safe and buy another one. Yeah, I don't. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. Also, Sammy Lance says just refund all passes. Well, they have done that. They have refunded all the fees by default for anybody who hasn't already paid in full. And I think if you've paid in full up front, they will give you. They will, if you ask, give you a refund for any months not used. Diana says, are refunds available if you choose not to renew or go to the park once it reopens? Well, no, I think you have to opt in. You have to opt in and tell them so. And then you have to opt when you opt in, that's with the agreement to whatever their policy is at the time. So you can't opt in and then say, you know what, never mind. I changed my mind since I don't feel safe yet. Regina says, slight concern in the Layton household. I have a signature, but Evan and Izzy have Flex Pass. Yeah. No, that's the way to go, though, Regina. At least for the short term. If you're only going a couple times a year, but I could get where that. I mean, I guess you can't go if they can't book the date. I guess you can't go. Okay. Raisin says, if the pass expires on a date that is after they open, they will only refund the months that they were closed. Right, and that's the way it should be, I think. I think that's the way it should be. Okay. A. Reed wants to know, here's a question. What got you into Disneyland in the first place? I'm always interested to see what made people fall in love with the parks. Well, it's funny because a lot of folks, when they talk about Disneyland and loving Disneyland, so many it begins when they're children and their parents taking them into the parks and having, a love affair going on for their entire lifetime. I didn't get to that point until I was until I was 40. I was 40 years old or older because I had been to Disneyland, obviously being a local many times, and I even had an annual pass a couple times, and then I let it expire because I wasn't going enough. And I never really maintained it. But after my son was born, and I got annual passes for the family, I went in and I still remember this moment very well. The first day, it was madness. It was Christmas Day because they were Christmas presents. The APs they were Christmas presents. And we went Christmas Day. But we went to DCA first, I think, to do our photos, because this is back in the day when you had to go to the city hall and get a photo, and it was all very, the long, arduous process. But I remember feeling that day that I was home, like this is where I wanted to be, in spite of the fact that it was super crowded and super busy. And I remember appreciating things in a way that was different than I had ever felt before. Because I used to just go to Disneyland to be with my girlfriend at the time, or just to ride some rides, or that kind of thing. But there wasn't a connection. But I remember that one day when I was there with my family and just realizing how much they were doing it right at the park, and how just all the amazing magic that was happening. And this sort of, it was like a ballet or some sort of choreographed thing, that all these moving parts were working together so beautifully, between the cast members and the characters and the rides and the food and the parade and it just everything. It was just magic. And I'm like, I want this more. I just want to eat it up, and I want this every day. And I was so impressed with how good they were at putting on this show every single day. And that's when I started looking at YouTube to see, I wanted to know what was happening in the parks today, so I knew what I was, what are some things that I need to look into at Disneyland in order to have a better time. I wanted to get caught up, and there wasn't very much on YouTube. And I said, well, then I'm going to film it. And it was really bad. It was really, really bad at first. Man, the videos that I put out initially 7 or 8 years ago, or however long it's been, they were really bad. It was just, I didn't hardly talk at all. It was just a lot of empty air. But my goal was to just sort of document, to be, the present situation. It was a long time ago, man. Interesting. And now today, I kind of feel like almost like a godfather of Disney vloggers, because so many have come since then, and they're all doing such a great job. I love them all so much. But I remember when there was just practically nothing like that was happening at Disneyland. Let me catch up on some comments. Gordon Farmer says, David, have you heard Disney Paris might be closing again due to the virus? Well, I think I breezed by a topic. I haven't heard anything specific or anything specific to that effect, but I remember there being some discussion about Disneyland Paris, but I didn't dive into it because it didn't sound like that. So I'll have to look into that and see if that's the case. Yeah, a lot of you guys are saying that you're all brought up on Disneyland, and no, that my parents were not. They were not theme park goers at all. We went a couple times, Magic Mountain one time, Knott's Berry Farm or whatever, but they weren't big on parks, taking us to the parks. So I came to it at a very old age. Yeah, late bloomer. I am a late bloomer. Susan Lugren says, Disneyland feeling at home is why we all feel like family. And that's something that I come back to. The reason why I get so much, when we put out a video and so many people agree with the things that I'm saying, is because that's how we the group, the community, the Fresh Baked community, we all have that sort of same mindset that it is a home, that it is there's that undefinable quality to it that makes us feel like we're home when we're there. And it has nothing to do with, thrills or e-tickets. Well, I mean, I guess to some extent it's about e-tickets, but it's more about the way we feel when we're there. So when I talk about how you feel when you're at Disneyland, I get a lot of that from this community. And now there's certainly a percentage of theme park fans, Disneyland fans, that go for other reasons, but they're not avid watchers of this show. I'll say that. Let's see. Jim Meyer says, I found Disneyland the same way, David, late in life with my family, appreciating the family-oriented playground, magic for all. I felt like the little bee girl in the no rain. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's funny how it doesn't happen. It happens to us in different ways. And, tell me, you guys, let's have that conversation about, when you felt differently about Disneyland, when you realized that Disneyland was a place like that, or if there was a moment when it triggered, like I had that day on Christmas, when I realized that Disneyland was a place that I wanted to be more than any place else, or that you wanted to be more than any place else. 9 months, my goodness. Denver says, La Brea is open. Yes, we're thinking about doing a video from there soon, going to La Brea. I'm not sure how it's going to fit into our schedule. We won't be able to do it quite as quickly as we did Jazz Kitchen, but I'd like to do it. I've never actually sat down and had a meal at La Brea. I've only gone through the Express, but I've never had a meal and sat down and been served at La Brea. I don't know why. Brittany says DLP is not closing because of virus. The story is because of staff shortages at their studio park. Now that makes more sense because, and this is true for any park, there are some cast members who don't want to go back to work. I don't know if it's different in Paris, but that's certainly a thing that we're hearing and seeing here at Disneyland or in Walt Disney World. So it makes sense that they would be shorthanded. Yeah, I believe that. Renee Boraza says, I looked up rides and you did a live on a Saturday morning and we were hooked. We were park people before that, but never watched vloggers until then. Well, I'm glad we were there for you, Renee. Oh boy, A. Reed says, I grew up thinking Walt Disney World was the best, but when I moved to LA, when I got hired by Disney, I went to Disneyland for the first time. I felt like there was so much more character and I fell in love. That's a true statement for a lot of people. And I don't want to say that you're absolutely right or absolutely wrong. It's true for me. I've been to Walt Disney World just once, so I don't know, I can't speak to, as much as others might be able to. But I know that I hear something. I hear from a lot of folks who have been to both coasts often that Disneyland feels more intimate. And it's because it's smaller, obviously. But, that has a lot to do with it, just the closeness instead of the wide open spaces like Disney World has. And that's certainly part of it. But more than that, more than just the intimate nature of it, there's a certain quality to the cast members. To the people working in the front lines, that there's a different way that they put on this show for the guests at Disneyland. Now, I can't attest to this, again, because I don't even remember my cast member interactions at Walt Disney World, nor did I have a discerning eye for that kind of thing at the time. This was 30 years ago. So I certainly wasn't, as tuned in as I am today. If I were to go to Disney World today, I would probably have a much better chance, obviously, of noting the differences. But I feel like that is something that I've heard people say a lot, that it's more, there's more warmth and love coming from everything, from, where you eat, as opposed to regimented. I don't know if I'm using the right words here, but I guess I'm picking up what you're putting down there. Okay. Kiki says, I was 10 and as Scandinavian, going to Disneyland was a huge thing in the 70s. Strongest memory is Pirates and Space Mountain and how enormous the park was. Kiki, I'd be interested to know, like, do you go to the parks in Sweden or other parks in, I don't know what to call the area. I forget, Scandinavia or whatever, or that area. Do you frequent those parks often, and how do they compare to Disneyland? Do you feel anything close like you do when you're at Disneyland. What are your favorite scents from the Disney candle companies? You know, my favorite scents are always the same, no matter if they're from the Disney candle companies or from, you know, anywhere else. And I like the sweet scents. I don't like the aromatics like rose or, you know, I can't think of the other one. Anyway, vanilla, you know, butterscotch, you know, that kind of thing. I like the sweet scents very much. The fruity smells, I like those too. Jazz Kitchen is open, Monique. We did a whole video. You got to check it out. Go to our channel, Fresh Baked, and watch our video of us having dinner at the Jazz Kitchen last week. It was great. We had a great time. Well, and while we're on the topic, talking about other channels, I have several. We've got Fresh Baked Presents. I'd be curious if there's people coming in that don't know about Fresh Baked that are watching these live streams. Can it give me a thumbs up or give me a comment or something if you found us just through these live streams, or if everybody's here coming from Fresh Baked proper. But we have another channel, Fresh Baked, where we do trip reports from the park, some news discussion, things like that. Subscribe to that channel if you haven't already. Turn on notifications. We've got another channel, my wife and I, Liz. We have a home vlog it's called The Royal Dorks. And there's links to both of those on the main channel page. And there's also another channel that we started, but it's called Disneyland Tours, Acoustic Sounds from the Park, or Acoustic Views of the Park. And that's where we have our like virtual Disneyland setup where you can get on the tram at the Making Friends parking structure, ride in, and then choose your adventure as you go throughout the park. Let's see. The best of. I love you guys. I love you guys. Well, there's one. Deanna Bauer says she found us from this stream, but I watch all their streams. Well, thank you. That's cool. No, Shauna, it is not all the same channel. They're all 4 different channels, literally 4 separate channels. And I always forget Fresh Baked WDW. We have a correspondent who does stuff from Walt Disney World, Grace. You guys should check that out if you're into. I don't know if she's going to the parks yet because she had COVID for a little while, a few weeks ago. So I'm not sure if she's going to the parks yet. Let's see. Scarface says, just subscribe to your Royal Dorks channel. I didn't know about that one. Well, cool. I hope you enjoy it. I hope we don't, I hope you would pick up what we're putting down over there. It's just us doing stuff from home. We went to Dunkin' Donuts this morning and got all the fall, the, what do you call it? The pumpkin spice stuff. Let's see. Disney Gator says, if you've had COVID, should Disney allow you to go into the parks? Well, yeah. Why not? Now you're open. It's not like you're forever contagious. I don't see that as a problem. Excuse me for a second. I get a little cotton mouth doing all this talking. Let's see. If you've already had, everybody has to wear a mask. Everybody. Whether you've had it or not, whether you're sick or not, everybody has to wear a mask. I wish we had a bloopers vid, Chris, but we don't film in that way. It's not scripted. So it's hard to I just edit out the stuff that doesn't really fit what we're doing, but it's not like we have lines and then somebody screws up the line. So it's hard to have bloopers. I wish we did, though. Those were fun. Andrew Dolan wants to know, David, your prediction on how long out-of-town folks will have to wait to buy multi-day passes. Well, I don't think there would be a restriction on that. I don't think. You can come in from out of town in Florida. They don't have any restriction on that as far as I know. Renee, yes, there is a pumpkin spice latte at Dunkin' Donuts as of today. And there's a pumpkin spice chai latte. The apple cider munchkins were really good too. What Disneyland attraction do you miss the most? Well, I think I have to go with this train. I really love the train. The Disneyland Railroad is just the best. Brian says they restricted in Florida at first. Interstate guests. That's interesting. I think that was just New York, though, wasn't it? Wasn't that just the states up north? Because I'm not sure how I remember it. But it won't be very long, I don't think. I mean, considering all the other states are open now, I don't know why California would be any different. We're really pretty much the last state to open things up or to be more open, right? Right? Gordon Farmer says one of the K brothers had to be rescreened for temperature as it was hot out. Well, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. I still get a little nervous every time I get scanned going to downtown Disney, but I mean, it is what it is. Okay. Don't forget the People Mover. I wish I could, because I mean, I miss it. A Reed says, do you think they'll still finish the new entrance to Tomorrowland, or do you think that's dead for now? Well, it is finished, except for that left side. Well, I guess that's what you mean. Yeah, they'll finish that. I think you can't. I don't remember if it was behind construction walls or not. Andrew Dolan, pass holders first. Yeah, I think so. Because Disney's, I mean, they're learning that they're going to depend on pass holders for a lot of their attendance at the onset. At least that's the way it's been in Walt Disney World. Let's see. Brett Swanson says COVID numbers are trending down. Encouraged. Yeah, anytime I see them trending down, of course, that's encouraging. A lot of things I find encouraging. The fact that Disney has kept their head down and kept pushing through in a lot of areas. Maybe not as much here in Disneyland, but all over. They're doing their best to just keep on working as if everything is going to be open up. And there's the Daily Woo. Adam, what's up? Hey, dude. Good to see you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam the Woo is in the house. One of the finest vloggers in the history of the internet. Go check out the Daily Woo. My number one go-to ride at DCA. Do I have to have one? Oh my gosh. Number one go-to ride at DCA. Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, I think. I can't think of anything else. Redwood Creek Challenge. It's not a ride, but it's an attraction. Mark Jacobs says, how about more streams from the entrance of Disneyland? Well, I mean, we try to when we can. I mean, we got copyrighted, but I'll still try to do some when I can. Amy Tim wants to know, do you think Snow White and Haunted Mansion will be open by the time they open? Snow White, definitely. I think Snow White is done. Snow White is waiting for Disneyland to open. Now, Haunted Mansion, I think they're still working on. But I think it will be open, yeah, by the time they open the parks. Malcolm wants to know, have you met Ordinary Adventures? Yeah, they're super cool people. They're both very nice. And I met Peter at D23, this past D23, and then we ran into each other again in the parks over the course of the next few months, and they were pretty friendly with Katie and Spencer too. So we all just kind of, that was actually the beginning, of us all coming together as a group, because today the vloggers are more friendly than they had been in the past. I think at least more social, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird environment sometimes. People expect competition, but they're all lovely. I love them all. Seda Vision says, Bob Chapek recently said pass holders don't make up a lot of revenue, David, so you're incorrect. I beg to differ, and I would like to see a link to that statement. I want to know exactly what the context was for that, and because I wholeheartedly disagree with that. And if that weren't the case, they wouldn't try so hard to get us. Oh, hey, hi, Michelle, what's up? I didn't see you there. Have you been here for a while? I love you. Do you know where the large zoom out photos here are in Disney World? No, I don't know. I don't know how you do that, actually. I know one of them is at the hub, right? But the other ones, I'm not sure. I'm so glad that you found us too, Michelle. You're one of my favorite people in this whole world. I just love you. Sorry if I'm getting mushy here, but I mean, you're so nice. I think that I wish we could have more people like Miniature Missy in this world. I really do. Keith or Kevin Lewis says, I think Bob Chapek was talking about Walt Disney World, which, well, that's possible because Disney World certainly has fewer annual pass holders than we do here at Disneyland, I think. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, there's a zoom out pick in Galaxy's Edge, but I think what they're maybe asking is where do you go? And I'm not sure how that works because you have to, I think there's like a queue for that, right? How do I think Disney will handle the stretching room in the Haunted Mansion? Easy. It's super easy. You let in 8 or 10 people into the stretching room. You put little X's on the ground, right? 8 X's, 6 feet apart inside the stretching room. And then the cast member says, hey, go stand on that X. Done. Grace Duncan says, regardless of whether or not they're a huge chunk of revenue, they're guaranteed. So at this point, logically, they're counting on them spending. That is the number one reason why they have annual passes, why any company has any kind of membership thing where you pay up front. Subway, no, who was it? No, I can't think of who it was, but anytime you collect monies in advance of somebody actually using the product. For example, the Sip and Savor cards that you get when it's food and wine. They ask you, okay, here, I'm going to give you a break. Normally it's $12 a dish at Food and Wine. So if you want 5, that's $60. But I'm going to give you a break. I'm going to sell you those 5 for $50 instead of $60. I'm going to save you $10. You pay up front. Great deal. What they're counting on is you not using them all. And now it's become profit. And the same applies to annual passes. first they get the guaranteed income. They're collecting your monies up front instead of you buying the ticket and doing that up front. But then they're also counting on you losing your vigor, as it were. You might start off going, once every couple of weeks or once every month, but then by, the fifth or sixth month, you start kind of like, I don't want to go to Disneyland right now. It's too crowded, too whatever. And because if there's that point, let's say if it passes, you got to go 12 times a year to break even. They're counting on you to go 10. And now you've paid for 12 tickets instead of 10, that kind of thing. Annual passes are absolutely cherished and treasured by the Disney company. Same as gift cards. Yeah. They love gift cards. Can I sell you a gift card, please? There you go, Adam the Woo. Drag your bodies to the dead center of an X and then stay there and don't move. Yannick asks, in which way do you expect Disneyland will open if it opens? Similar to Walt Disney World? Yeah, I don't see why not. Limited attendance, 20%. I think everything will be open. No fireworks, no Phantasmic, and maybe no DCA. That's a rumor. That's not what he said, Archbox. Archbox says Chapek basically called AP's second-class attendees, spend less and not important to him. That is not at all what he said, and that's what you heard. That's not what he said. All he said was, and I think I know the quote you're talking about, that's why I'm saying this, during the last earnings call, all he said is that AP spend per capita less than a person who's visiting for for a week per visit, which is true. But there was no judgment in that statement. He was just saying that they're less valuable in terms of how much they spend, but they don't. That has nothing to do with how much they value annual pass holders. I promise you that. I think that's what you heard. Let's see. Jesse Anderson, shut down the subs and turn the queue into a cool down area. Not a lot of space there. Upstairs, the monorail, maybe you can have people chill out upstairs on the monorail. It's a long way to go to take a breather, but I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I would expect also park hours to be reduced. Daryl Howe wants to know how long until they allow new purchases of annual passes. Was just about to get mine before they shut down. However long the reservation period lasts, which is unknown. We don't know how long that'll be, but I don't think they're going to sell annual passes until the park is able to operate at full capacity, for the obvious reason that there is an expectation when you buy an annual pass that you can go whenever you want, assuming within the constraints of your blackout dates. Okay. Is there a reason why Disney hours would be less? Yeah, because fewer people are going to the park. Attendance is subject to demand. So if demand is reduced, then you don't need to be open as long as you need to, nor do you need to have as many cast members around to service that demand. So that makes sense. It makes sense. Now they would reduce them at Disney World recently for that reason, but also because they were expecting more people to show. So they had hired more, they had planned for more cast member hours at the park and more time at the park to be open. And they're now reacting to that. I think that Disney will probably have a different plan for Disneyland when it opens. I don't know if I don't know. It's possible that they might reduce hours at the outset if they're only going to have 20% capacity. But they could ramp that up pretty quick. Rick St. Louis, I'm an AP and I spend dollars. Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know if they factor this, obviously, but it made it. I mean, they've got people with sharper minds and sharper pencils than I do. But the way I see it, I spend infinitely more than the 5 to 7 day traveler, because I may not be spending as much per visit, but I'm there more often. If I'm spending, let's say a person staying for 5 to 7 days is spending $500 or $100 a day. That's good. $100 a day, $500. But if I go 20 times, I need to only spend $25 per day. I need to spend half as much to do all that, or whatever the numbers are. All I know is I spent a ton of dough at Disneyland, more than any 5 to 7 day traveler ever could over the course of a whole year, because I'm there all the time. But I don't think I'm representative of the average AP, though. I think there are many APs who don't go but 5 or 6 times a year. Let's see. Rick St. Louis says, I was told by the ticket agent with whom I continued my AP until the park opens that I would be able to buy an AP if I called and spoke with a supervisor. Interesting. But they're not selling them on the website. But if you were to call them up and ask real nice, they might sell you one. That's interesting. Miniature Missy says, have you seen or heard any methods of determining layoffs cast reduction at the other resorts? No, I don't. You know what? I'm not privy to that. That's not the kind of thing that I would have to know somebody who's been through it, or, I don't get that kind of info. I would ask you. You know what I mean? I get more of that from people who are, cast members, or, whatever. You would probably know better than I would. But you know what? I don't think you're in any danger, Miniature Missy, because you are the perfect candidate to work at Disneyland. They couldn't do better than you, Michelle. Breezy Bear says, I called the other day and I couldn't buy an AP. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, nobody can buy any tickets right now. But I think what he's talking about is maybe when things open up again. I'm not sure. But nobody can buy any kind of ticket right now. Gabriella says, someone in here said that they were a cast member and mentioned their colleagues and themselves were eager to get back to work. If anyone in here is a cast member, could you tell me how you feel about it? I'm not a cast member, but I can speak to that question in some ways. It's a mixture of both. There are some cast members who wholeheartedly believe that Disneyland is not essential and they should not be open. And they're happy to wait for as long as it takes. And there are cast members who are just dying to get back to work. There is no right answer to that question. Michelle says, good and well, they don't tell us anything in a timely manner. That's true. Yeah. I do kind of laugh when people say, I heard a cast member say they're going to, do this or do that. And I'm like, they don't tell cast members that much, really. The cast members don't know that the Matterhorn is coming down and they're going to put up a frozen attraction. They don't know that at all. Not for a minute would they know that kind of thing. Let's see. Jesse Jess says, I agree, David. I feel AP spent a good amount in addition to the cost of the pass. I think SAPs will continue to bring in the money, especially with people not wanting to travel to visit the park. Yeah, dude. I mean, there's plenty of value in annual pass holders. Trust me. There's all kinds of value in annual pass holders. And I believe that if Disney had their way, we would all be on an annual pass, all of us. But they can't, because obviously people coming in from other countries or visiting once a year, they can't do the annual pass thing. But if they had their way, that's the way it would be done. Leo says, I'm a cast member and I want to get back to work. I'm scared of the safety. Oops, did I lose you? I'm scared of the safety, but I love working at Disneyland and I would go through any safety training required. There you go. But it goes across the whole spectrum, guys. That, you know, his opinion may be different from somebody else's. I say this all the time, man. We're all just individuals walking our path, walking our own path. And, you know, we're not all the same. We're all cut different. We're all going to have different viewpoints, completely opposite to what another person might be thinking about the same exact topic. So there's no right or wrong answer to that. And on that note, walk your own path, you guys. Don't let anybody tell you how to do things. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. Don't do anything for everybody else. Make yourself happy first. That'll make you happy and less anxious. Believe me, I know all about anxiety because I have it a lot. Let's see. You know, I miss Josh tomorrow too, but I think that I like knowing that he's in charge of both parks. I do like that. You know, Archbox says, I believe Disney themes are essential to mental health. I think Disneyland's essential. And you can't convince me otherwise. Now, I know, again, some people are going to disagree with that, but there are a lot of us who are emotionally we go to Disneyland to get away from the pressures and the anxiety of our everyday lives. I've said many times, when I walk into Disneyland, I go through the gate and I go through the entrance tunnel and Town Square is revealed to you and everything just goes away. And it's like having all that pressure washed away. And it's so good for your soul. It's so good for you to be able to have 4, 5, 8, 10 hours of just anxiety free. Now, going to Disneyland can make people anxious. It all depends on the person. But for me, for my mental health, I am not better off today than I was when Disneyland stopped being open. My mental health requires that I go to Disneyland. That is what gets me through life sometimes. And I love the idea that I can go there and forget about all my troubles, because I got troubles. Man. We all got troubles, right? I mean, that's life. But going to Disneyland fixes all that. So Disneyland is essential to Target as Target. Well, Robert Villanueva says, until the lines are too long, well, then you just don't go on a line. Don't go on a ride. Walk around. Sit. Enjoy the sounds. Listen. Feel it. It doesn't have to be, I can't get on Space Mountain. It doesn't have to be that way. And this is something that we preach all the time. It's very difficult. I understand that it's very difficult for some folks who only get to go once a year and they feel the pressure of like, I need to conquer the park. I need to win my Disneyland day. But whenever possible, whenever you are able to, just try it, even for a couple hours. If let's say you can only go once a year, just try it. Just try it for a couple hours. While you're just forget that you're trying to do anything. Forget that you need to ride a ride or eat a certain thing, and just listen to the park. Not with just your ears, but listen with your soul, listen with your heart, listen with your body, and feel what is happening. When you can disconnect from the agenda and let what Disneyland is happen to you, it's life-changing. It changes everything. Let's see. Sammy Lance says, yeah, I usually sit for at least an hour each time I go. Sometimes that's all you need. Evan Layton, without periodic trips to Disney, I'm less productive and less capable of dealing with life. The escapism is needed. And we have no escape. Guys, what do we have to? We can't go to the movies. We can't go to sporting events. We can't go to theme parks. It is making this nation angry and anxious, and they're just like, ah, they need to be let out. I know that there's a pandemic happening, but that doesn't change how it's affecting us. It doesn't change how we feel. Knowing that with our brains is one thing, but it still happens to us, and this is why people are rebelling, because they just can't. They can't. Like, just let me out of here. This is too much. And all we've got is the internet, and the internet is a dark, scary, angry place sometimes. A lot of times. You need real world joy to get away from Twitter. Oh, sorry. That's why, you know what? I'm happy that I'm able to be here for you guys. If that's how you're feeling, and if somehow this makes you happier that you can spend an hour with us in this way, that's cool. That's cool that we can do this at least. Twitter is not real life. God, you said it. People say and do things on Twitter that they never would say or do in the real world. But that's all we have. All we have right now is this virtual world and going to the store. That's all we have. Justin and I have talked about it. I think he dropped out of Twitter finally. We talked about that a couple times, and yeah, I agree. I don't enjoy Twitter. I do it basically, as much as I'm capable, but you probably noticed if you're on Twitter a lot and you don't hear from Fresh Baked a lot, except from Nate Dogg maybe, which is why I brought Nate Dogg in, because I just can't do it. I can't do it, man. It's just too much. It's just too much. But I try to post a few things here and there if I feel like, like whatever it is I got is worth sharing or something like that, or if I, want to talk to somebody. But man, Twitter's rough. Miniature Missy says, we need to learn how to sit with ourselves and put in the hard and very unfun work required to get us to a place of peace where we don't have to escape all the time. I'm doing so much better. That's a fair point, Missy. That's a fair point. Some people, though, they're having the opposite. I mean, as much as that is true and that you need to do that, they're having the opposite reaction. It's that they can't even comprehend that kind of thing. But for some folks are saying this has been a learning experience, a growing experience for them. Nick Wagner. Hey, Nick, how you doing? I didn't even see you there. Wonder if there will be more sponsorship of entertainment again. I think so. Like how Honda paid for, remember, Pandora pays for Florida's Pyro, and Need Entertainment ASAP. Safe, Paint, Magic Happens, Pyro, and all. Well, the issues with that stuff, though, is more about social distancing than it is about, finances. Although they need sponsorships for sure. They canceled the Pac-12 football season. Yeah, dude, college sports, college football, those kids aren't going to stay in a bubble. There's no way. There's no way you could ask college students to stay in a bubble. There's no way. There's no way. We got 2 minutes, guys. Rich Solis, I still need to experience Galaxy's Edge. Yes, you do, Rich. Yes, you do. Yeah, we've got, I got a late start on the construction stuff, but I'm hoping to have it tomorrow. But we're going to show, there's some images of the Quinjet on top of the building. It's pretty cool. Not today, Christopher. No, I don't have enough time in the day today to do it, but I'm going to hopefully have it up tomorrow. I ran out of time. Okay, everybody's on the Quinjet. Hobby Lobby. The Hobby Lobby video on Royal Dorks is coming, I think, tomorrow. But thank you, Chris, for your energy on that. I appreciate that. Guys, go subscribe to Royal Dorks if you like to watch us shop. We're going to be doing a lot of shopping. I'm really enjoying the shopping videos. If you watched our Downtown Disney one, it's like that, but even more like focused. We're doing quite a few of those. I got stuff coming from more stuff coming from Big Lots. We're going to Spirit Halloween on Saturday. Home Depot. Another one from Michael's. So yeah, check that out. LA Zoo is reopened. Yes. End of August. I've also, Regina, I've got a whole bunch of Sophie. Oh God, if you could see the stuff I shot of Sophie, some of it is just magic. That's another video I'm working on for Royal Dorks. It's just basically a Sophie video of her just being the most beautiful, wonderful, perfect little child that you could ever want. She is so cute and so happy, and she's got such an easy smile and an easy laugh, and she's learning to do things. And oh man, I love her. I love her so much. Sammyland, Aaron's vlogs. Yes, that's actually something we're talking about doing, is just us going to the store. I don't know. But yeah, stay tuned for that on Royal Dorks, guys. So check that out. There is a link on the main page, on the channel page. Click home and you can find it. Super easy. Okay, guys, it's 5 o'clock. I got to go. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to like the video on your way out and to leave a comment expressing your love for Disneyland. Tell us in the comments everything that you love, or just one thing that you love and miss most about Disneyland. Share that love, put that out there in the universe, and we'll see you on Friday. Goodbye, guys. Respect.